What's up everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and this is the second video of the E36. Thank you for the response on the first video, it was absolutely amazing. But as the title has told you, this is going to be 36 things that are wrong with my E36. I'm going to go through every single bit, and those are the 36 important things that I am going to change on the car. So without further ado, let's start with number one. Alright, so the first thing is the body. So that's obviously the main thing that you do see on the car. It's 95, the paint is original, so it hasn't been touched, but over time there's got dents and scratches, and that needs to be addressed. So there's a couple of stone chips here, so body needs to be addressed, it needs to be gone over. I don't think we'll actually repaint the entire car, but I think we are gonna touch it up with OEM Plus paint. There's a couple of things here, but on to number 2 and 3, that's dents and scratches. There's a scratch here on the roof, and it's quite deep. It's actually gotten a little bit of rust, so that's not great. And just one or two things. So there's a little bit of scratches here. There's a couple of dents. So the first 1, 2, and 3, it's body, dents, and scratches. And so those are things we're going to be looking at. And now I'm going to show you some other stuff that's bothering me that we're going to fix on the front of the car. Alright, so this is the front of the car. We're here back again, and I'm going to talk to you about number 4 and 5. So it's obviously the front headlights. These have been chipped quite a bit, so they look super misty and foggy, and they're not as clear. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the entire headlight lens. I think the lenses in the inside are still intact. They're still pretty good, but I'm going to replace them. So 4 and 5, it's the front 2 headlights. Then 6 and 7 will obviously be the indicators. They are still the original ones. They say made in Germany. Still got the BMW logo, but they are cracked and they are aged, especially the rubber around them. So got to go ahead and replace that. The next one would definitely be the front bumper. As you can see, it's the gray bumper, so it just needs some TLC. So I'm going to get that repainted and sorted out, as well as the beading. It's got a little bit of a love tap here, but that's okay, it's a car of age. And then the next thing on the front of the car will be the fog light covers. So because this is a 316 and it never came with fog lights, it's got fog light covers, but as you can see, these are very, very, very chipped. So I've got to go ahead and replace those two. And the other thing is, as well with the bumper, is the bumper slide. So on the front right hand side, you'll see that the bumper is out of alignment. It's obviously because it was a stance car. It's just been, you know, scraped on curbs that it couldn't get up, and then over time this sort of comes out, and so that bumper slide clip comes out. So I've got to replace that, but pretty much that is the whole entire front end covered that I'm going to fix and correct. Alright, so number 12, 13, 14, and 15, 4 things that I want to address on the car is the rubber around the door handles. The door handles are very old. In fact, if you come around here, you can actually see that the rubber has deteriorated. That's over time and with sun damage and all those things. So I'm going to go ahead and replace all the door handles. It's just preventative measure. It's an old car, I don't know how long it's going to last for, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And then number 16 is all the rubber around the door seals. So there's rubbers around here that kind of seal the door on the top here and all the way around here. That's obviously been deteriorated. It's also brittle and breaking, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that on all 4 of those sides, and then I think we'll be good on the door side. So once that's sorted out, I think this will look nice and neat. Alright, so number 17 is the back window rubber. So again, with the rubber theme and this being an old car, the rubber's deteriorating around the back window. The car does have matching windows, so none of the windows have been replaced, which is really cool. But all the rubbers around here, they're brittle and breaking. It's coming off with my hand. So the 17th thing I need to do is obviously fix all of that. Because if you don't, you know, you can get water inside, and that's not great. And then number 18 is the boot. You can't really see it, but the boot is sort of flush here, but on the other side over here, it rises a bit, so that's out of alignment. So I gotta fix that, and that'll be the 18th thing. But let me show you the other things on the back of the car that also need to be fixed. Alright, so the 19th and 20th thing are the rear left and rear right tail lights. They are in pretty good condition, but they are cracked, and obviously moisture will get in there. But also the bulbs, the bulb fuses on the back, they're melted, so they don't work 100%. In fact, if I go turn on the car now, you'll see that the indicator looks like quite a disco light. So it doesn't work correctly. And then at the same time, when you press the brake lights, not all of them function. So I do have to sort that out. That's quite important because people need to know how to indicate. So I've got to replace both of those, and I think it'll just look really great with a nice refresh on the back of the car. Okay, so the 21st thing obviously is the bulbs. The bulbs don't come with the backlights for rear and left, so I've got to do that. But the 22nd thing, the most important thing, is the boot. So my E36 boot, like many other E36s of this age, they don't lock. That's because the boot lock mechanism is broken, so it's completely sheared off the actual metal. And that's what makes that clunking sound. So I do have to get that welded and fixed, but that is one of the main things that I got to sort along with the body, because it is important. If you got all your goods in here, you know, people can steal it. So that is number 22, and that completes the outside things that I need to do on the E36. All right, so now we're going to get onto the main part, which is the engine, and that is something that not a lot of people do know about. And it's this, the engine, which is the beautiful M43, ta-da, has a misfire. That is something that needs to be addressed. I obviously did buy the car with it, so I will show you. It takes, so it doesn't idle correctly. So that's something that I need to sort out. So the misfire is a very big one. Number 24, obviously I have to sort out this insulation. It's quite old, something I want to do. And then number 25, the firewall is starting to deteriorate. So I got to fix out that. But in terms of the misfire, I haven't decided what I want to do with the engine. Maybe I'll swap it. Let me know in the comments below. It'd be really cool to see what you guys would want as a suggestion for a new engine. But I do have to address that just so that it rides and drives properly, but it does have a misfire. It kind of goes away at the high RPM, but it is there on cold start, and it is quite a thing. You smell a lot of petrol, so that's something we definitely have to fix. Okay, so most critically, let's put this down. The back of the car is quite important, and it's this section here. So because this is a 316, the back does not come with steel disc brakes. In fact, the rear of this is drum brakes, and for safety, that's a bit of a concern, especially because we want to be able to stop safely. So I got to replace that, and because this is a 95, this is a pre-facelift, so it doesn't actually come with ABS as well. So I got to replace that. That is the big 26th thing I need to do on this car, is replace this to steel. But number 27 obviously is to replace the whole rear end and give this a limited slip diff. So number 27 is that. So to complete this, I have to basically replace the whole rear end to make it safer. Got to give it steel disc brakes for the back to help it stop, but also a slip diff so that when we do fix the power issue, we can stop safely. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the inside, and those are important things as well, but not so much. But as you step inside the car, there's a few things that I do want to fix inside here. Most importantly, the seat belt. So this here, it doesn't necessarily go back in place, it kind of just flops there. So gotta fix the seat belt. Secondly, on the inside, it's the gauge cluster. So as you turn on the car, it's a common E36 thing. You can't really see the kilometers on it. It's kind of faded, and that digitalness is kind of faded away. So I've got to fix that, and along with some other important interior things, which I'll show you if you come on the other side. All right, so inside the E36, the interior is very well maintained. But there are a couple of things that I do need to address. So one of the other major things, and this is number 30, it's the headlight switch. So if I turn it on, it kind of just flicks on, and it doesn't really turn the lights on properly. So it does flick on, but if I want to switch it off, it kind of just rounds itself. So it kind of feels like when you've kind of rounded a nut onto a bolt. So you kind of have to like press it in and kind of twitch it down. So that is something that I do need to fix, because otherwise the battery gets dead. And you could mistakenly leave on the park lights. But the other things that I need to fix, another important thing is on the steering wheel, the hooter. that does not work. That needs to be addressed. Obviously, when you're driving, especially if you live in the city, you got to get people out the way. So the hooter doesn't work. Other things on the interior has to be the handbrake. When I drive, I kind of feel like the handbrake is catching on the rear wheels because I can hear a sort of slight grindy noise. So I need to fix that because when the handbrake is completely down, the car doesn't really roll. It's kind of quite soft. So that needs to be fixed. And then on the interior, we've got the panels. So the E36, it's a common issue. You've got like bubble on the doors. So I do need to fix the door cards. That's also got to be fixed. And as well with that on the door card interior, the roof lining. So the roof lining is sagging, as you can see here. So I do have to fix that and make sure that it is in tip-top condition. But one or two more things to fix on the car, and I think it'll be almost perfect. So it's also summer, so one of the other things that I do need to fix is the aircon. So the aircon does not work, and I got to keep myself cool in summer, so that's something that I do need to address. And then also the back right window, that does not go down, so it kind of sags, so I kind of have to put it up into place. So once I've fixed all of those things on the interior, that will be every single thing, or 36 things that I would fix on my E36, and then it'll be riding and driving absolutely perfectly. All right, so that is 36 things wrong with my E36. It's been really cool to show you guys this. I know it doesn't look like much for many of you out there, but the car is pretty much 70% there. But it's going to be such a pleasure to take you along and show you the process of how I'm going to fix everything, from the body to the paint to the wheels to the engine. It's going to be really exciting. So thank you for watching this. I hope you guys like the content, and shout out to M-Town Customs. They let me shoot in this beautiful place. They're going to be handling all of the body work on this car, but I'm really excited to take this car to a new level, and it's nice to be able to document it on YouTube. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. If you like what you see, why not give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing? Because if you do, one of your enemies gets destroyed on the timeline. Not really, but what you do is you help me create more videos like this. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now.